videos of that, go ahead, get cameras or phones out now. I'll be doing a couple of them along this fence. So wherever you are, you should be able to get a good shot or a good photo. I'll start with the first one just right here. Hey, Bo. Oh, come on. I know, it's so early and it's hot. There you go, Bubba.
Don't make me do it.
Sir, not today. Made me give my speech and then didn't do it. Kid. That's alright. Tank's bigger than him anyway.
He's definitely gotten really big.
Yeah, Gator was so much bigger than Tank.
I know. He really shot up over him real quick. You done? Are you done? No. Hi, are we gonna do this one? Yeah. Hi, we have another one, so we will try again. See if people love it. In case anyone's wondering what it's like to work with animals, this is, yeah, this is what you get.
Is he shedding at the moment?
Oh yeah, since it's getting hotter and stuff, all of the animals are starting to shed their winter coats and come into their summer ones. So he does kind of the same thing as like larger dogs would. So like,
yeah, you can see it around his cheeks.
yeah. Around his hind haunch is pretty good, so that should be pretty fluffed out. Yeah, I guess. They're pretty soft, but So Tabitha, the golden tabby or the strawberry tiger, being that she's a golden tabby or a strawberry tiger, her fur follicles are actually genetically different than an actual tiger's. So they're shorter and they make it so that her fur is kind of like a stuffed animal, so it's more plush. Yeah.
She was already my favorite, but now she's
you know that she's just a walking stuffy.
So this is Gator. Gator is one of our generic tigers. So again, like I said, generic tiger, so he's a rescue. Gator here came to us from what's called a photo cub facility. That's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You go to a place, they hand you a baby tiger or lion, and for the X amount of dollars that you pay, you get to spend a good couple minutes cuddling and playing with your baby tiger or lion. However, there is in fact a legal weight limit that your animal has to be under for you to use them, and that's about 40 pounds. So a lot of the time at these facilities, they'll starve their animals to make sure that they stay within that legal weight limit for as long as possible, so they can use them for as long as possible. And that's exactly what happened to Gator here. Whenever we received him, he was about 11 months old, and generally when a tiger reaches 1 year of age, they weigh about 200 pounds. So Gator here, he was 11 months old and he weighed about 70 pounds. So he was severely underweight, severely emaciated. He obviously had a lot of health concerns that went along with that. So we took him to a veterinarian at the University of Florida. He was there for about 3 hours. His vet bill came to $3,500. He was only expected to make it a couple more weeks. So we took him to a different veterinarian. We took him to Patagona Healthcare Clinic. She helped us turn him around, make him into the cat he is today. He has obviously made a full and sparkling recovery. He is in fact one of the larger cats that we have here. He stands about 8 feet tall on his hind legs and he weighs about 450 to 500 pounds. All right, so if we slide down a little bit farther, we have our next tiger, and she is in fact the last tiger that we have on tour today. generic tigers. Like I said, she's the last one that we have on tour for you guys today. Now, Sunflower here, we believe was part of a circus at some point in her life. She has a couple of training behaviors that we did not teach her. One of them is that she does a nice little prance along the side of the fencing as we drive past with our cars. Another one is that she does some pose positions on top of her platforms, none of which are things we've taught her. She just kind of does them on her own. Another reason we believe that she was part of a circus at some point in her life is because she has a very telltale characteristic of being inbred. And inbreeding is a very common practice at circuses and facilities along those lines because it makes their animals more docile, it makes them easier to tame or control. That characteristic for Sunflower here is that she is in fact cross-eyed. So like we talked about before, cougars are in fact the largest wildcat that has the ability to purr. Anything that roars doesn't purr, anything that purrs doesn't roar. So tigers are the largest wildcat in the entire world. That means that these guys roar and they do not purr. Instead of purring, tigers make a vocalization which is referred to as chuffing. Chuffing is essentially the same as if your domestic house cat were to purr. It's a sign of these guys being happy, content, or just a general sign of acknowledgement as well. Yeah, well, she also sees the other group, and she knows that that's another job. Huh.
How old is she?
These guys are our middle-aged tigers. She's around 14, 15 years old, and then Tank's around 13 or so.
She's like, okay, I'm back in the shade now. It's very warm.
Close enough to the food, but still in the shade.
So with these guys being the largest wildcat in the world as well, they do eat a lot. Tigers, in addition to being ambush or stalking animals, they are also what are referred to as gorge eaters. That means they eat a lot of food in just one sitting. Tigers actually have the ability to consume about 100 pounds of food in one meal. Yeah.
I didn't think you were listening.
They look like they struggle to walk.
Alright, so over here as promised, these are more of our spotted hyenas. This is Scarlet and Rhett. This one's Scarlet right up here in the front, and then back there by that tree, that is Rhett. So Scarlet is our female, Rhett is our male. Now Scarlet here was born here at the facility. She was born in a litter of 3 females, and that's pretty much the worst case scenario for a spotted hyena baby. Whenever a group of spotted hyena babies are born, there are only 2 places on mom for them to nurse. So in litters larger than 2 individuals, there is lots of sibling size. And then with these guys being that matrilinear species that we referred to earlier, females are generally going to go after females in a way to assert dominance. So for Scarlet here being female in a litter of 3, she was not born first, so her older sister tried to kill her. So we had to pull her from the litter, and she was hand raised ever since. A couple of things that allow spotted hyenas to be able to do this is that they are born with the ability to walk, they are born with their eyes open, and they are also born with a full set of teeth. So while you're looking at these guys, you'll notice that they're shaped kind of odd or kind of strange. Their rumps and their rear ends slope down towards the ground, so they're lower than their shoulder blades and their chest. So that's an advantage for these guys because it allows them to run faster backwards than they can forwards. Now, spotted hyenas are also an incredibly intelligent species. These guys have a really well-developed frontal lobe, which is the area of the brain that's involved in critical thinking and processing. So they are very, very good problem solvers. This area of the brain is actually so well developed in spotted hyenas that it's suggested to have co-evolved with chimpanzees. clan. They'll go after individual prey items in that clan and minimize risk to individuals while also making it the most effective way to hunt. Oh my God. And since they get that scavenging kind of reputation or mentality, that's because of how complete of a scavenger they are. They'll actually leave bones of carcasses, and spotted hyenas won't. These guys, they're strong enough with their bites that they can bite through bone, and their gastric juices are strong enough that actually they can digest bone as well. Alrighty, so Henry is up and at 'em. So we'll go ahead and make our way over there.
She is definitely the boss.
She spent the whole.
Oh, Scarlett.
Yeah.
Hi, Brad. Hi, sweet boy.
With Henry.
Yeah, she stopped for probably a good 10 seconds. Just kind of stared at